Okay, this next video is a DDHiFi Janus3. Thank you to DDHiFi for actually reaching out to our group and offering this review sample. I will say a couple things about. Well, they reached out to me because I've been posting how much I love their stuff. Not shilling it, just because I think the stuff is top, and it's not fluff, and it's not cheap though. But I'm cheap, and I still bought it. Like the 4.4, I absolutely not just love the way it looks in the finish. I love the way it sounds. I know, I'm talking about a freaking cable here. This thing, which is the, what is it? I think it's called a TCO7 something, the OTG cable. I got it in 2 lengths. It's my absolute favorite OTG cable. Not only is the ends phenomenally sculpted to pull it out with my fat fingers. Anyway, moving on to the Janus3. Okay, funky packaging. Everything DDHiFi does is top quality. Their presentation, their packaging, even if you buy one of their little cables, it looks bang on. Like, it's protected nicely. It comes in this little, looks like a cardboard recyclable box, that kind of stuff. This one comes in like kind of a wrap, and you open it up, and there's some, which I care less about, but some waifu is there. But open it up, and you're presented with a whole bunch of things. Their quality assurance cards, talking about what version, the USB-C, Lightning, cables, comes in. Again, you know, your tips and that kind of bloody blah. But your presentation is fantastic. You also get this really baller little case somewhere. I can't find it. That's, again, everything. So top quality stuff, accessories, everything like that, and stuff that's been thought out. Everything that I've gotten from them, I think there's a thought process that goes into this. And why am I saying that again and again? Well, it plays down into this IM and the tuning, and the build. So, and I've talked about this in the past. If you're new to my channel, please go ahead and watch my Plunge Audio Unity video. And from now on, you'll understand about proper fitment. Why I went hard off of the Chopin was because that it doesn't fit right. It's the wrong shell shape, and the nozzles point in the wrong direction to what our ears are shaped, your average human ear. And if you watch the Plunge Audio Unity video, you'll understand more about that. The guy who is designing those IEMs, a fellow Canadian, Simon Fisk, is an audiologist, and he knows his shit, right? So, and he knows tuning. Anyway, moving back to these, the Janus3 is either funky as hell. Kind of like this bluey green shell, transparent shell. You can see the little wires. You can see the dynamic driver inside that's kind of attached to the bottom. And the bottom of the nozzle is angled up and away. So what does this allow you to do into your ears? Well, exactly that. So when it goes into your ears, you can, and I love the MMMCX, right? I think I put too many M's in there. But you can get this IEM to go up and fit in that correct direction up into your ear. And I'm using Osla crystal tips, and when they're there and I get them in position, I can't hear a damn thing right now on that left ear. When they go in and you get them into position, the isolation is wow. Can you see that? So not only, I'm probably yelling, not only can I get them into the correct position into my ears, that affects the overall sound. Amazing. This cable also that comes with it, I should mention, MMCX. High quality MMCX for you haters out there. Don't. Can you hear that? Like when this thing makes connection and snaps into place, it's there. MMCX allows you to get your proper fitment in your ear and twist, right? Unlike 2-pin, you can twist it without breaking connection or your cable or your IM, and wrap it around your ears while you still have the proper fitment in your ears. It's a wonderful idea. Glad they went with this, worth everything else. Again, proper thought went into this IM. Okay. How does it sound? Well, upon first listen, back. Modular. Not just modular. I hate most modular cables. Here's another cable that when it makes a solid connection inside, it's there. And again, they've designed it where you're going to grab it from the barrel, right? Not the part that pulls out because it's smaller. It's just naturally shaped in a way where you're going to grab the barrel. So there's no chance of it separating. And besides that, it's solid inside. So DDHiFi, again, whoever's designing your stuff, bravo. Like, seriously. What am I? 7 minutes in, I haven't even talked about the damn sound yet. Okay. My first impression, put them in, get proper fitment, tips, instant love. I wrote that. And because that's exactly the first thought that went into my mind. The Janus3 is neutral with a slight bias to the cool, energetic side of playback. Clean, clear. These are some of the descriptors that I wrote down. Sub bass, I wrote originally was okay, and then I burned them in hard for about 4 days. Sub bass is good. It doesn't go extremely low, but it will if called upon. If there's lots of sub bass in the track, it will go there. But it needs power to do so. Not all of it is, yeah. So, it's really, the bass is really more balanced towards the mid bass, which again, I favor. And the whole lower bass and mid bass is extremely well controlled. The tonality of that is top. Very nice quality on the bottom end. Upper mids, they sound great. Highs, again, thank you for not making this a very sibilant IM. Enough highs to be trebly, sparkly, details, airy, but not pushing the envelope too much. So a cross between a Western tuning and maybe a Chi-Fi tuning where you have more energy, female poison in the top end. The Janus3 plays a little bit vocal forward, just a tad. But it makes it for a more exciting set to listen to. and it sounds a little bit more on the airy side than neutral. For vocals, it's a little bit north of neutral, on the other side of warm and thick, right? So that's what I mean by that. It's definitely a colored set. So if you're looking for a perfectly neutral set, this is probably not one for you, but it's done colored in a really nice way, right? There's bad ways and good ways, and this is one of the good ways. Especially if you like a tastefully done, more energetic set, the Janus 3 is for you. Tip selection is going to be absolutely paramount for bass response. You are going to want to make sure that you get a tip that gets in there and seals. I found that I was using a couple of the tips, and the ones they include in the box, I've had these before. I find they have really soft flanges. It's not the best choice for this IM. I found stuff like the Osla crystals, where the actual grippiness and the thickness of the ear tip is a better choice to seal and isolate for bass. It made a huge, massive difference. So tips like the Moondrop spring tips, for instance, UC tips just didn't work very well because it collapses and lets it leak out. The Tangzu pressure relieving tips would be a horrible choice if you don't like bass. It would be a great choice. But if you want a more balanced bassier and really bring out what the bottom end of this set can do, choose a tip that'll seal better. So all the impressions, of course, are on this wonderful modular cable. I'm not switching this thing out. It sounds awesome. I wouldn't change that for $1 million. Absolutely. What I put it on a warmer source again, Shanling M8 sounded wonderful. The Ibasso DX170, my cheap DAC, cheaper DAC, also sounded fantastic on CSS. So that DAP and the Truthier Shiro that I really like so much are very similar as well. Hey, speaking of sources, when I was playing around with the Janus 3, one of the other things that we picked up was this little I wouldn't say dongle DAC per se. It's called the TC44 Pro, and I'm using the USB-C version off of my Samsung S22 Ultra that's recording this. One of the things that this stood out to, this should have its own video, but honestly, I just wanted to do a shout out for this thing. This thing is USB-C 4.4 on the side. I can't show you what it, oh yeah, maybe I can. Throw it in a DAP here. Here's the S8. When it goes in, it again, like all the DDHiFi stuff, solid. There's no wiggle room or whatever. It's really well connected, and I love how it's going to be coming out right angle versus the back end. Again, just well thought of. One of the things that blew my mind when I was doing my sound impressions was how powerful this little thing was. 120 milliwatts per channel into 32 ohms. And it kind of drove this little Janus 3 to awesome volume levels as well. So just a little shout out in sources that this little CSS Cirrus Logic chip is a phenomenal little dongle, and I'm kind of falling for it. It is my now go-to dongle. DAC, dongle DAC. Yeah, for on the go. I want to again thank DDHiFi for making a wonderful product, and allowing our group, Canucks Audioholics Anonymous, to listen to it and enjoy this IM, and look out for more of our impressions coming to you soon. Thank you so much. Tone Deaf Monk, out for now.